Millions of people wake up during the night to urinate, often 2, 3, or even 5 times. This pattern is not normal, regardless of age. The idea that this is part of aging is one of the biggest misconceptions that lead people to ignore a treatable problem. In most cases, the bladder is not the cause. It is functioning properly, simply responding to an excess of fluid that reaches it at the wrong time. This completely changes how the problem should be viewed. Instead of treating the bladder with medications, supplements, or excessive fluid restrictions, it is necessary to understand what is causing this increase in nighttime urination. In a healthy body, the brain releases the hormone vasopressin during sleep, signaling the kidneys to reduce urine production. This mechanism allows the body to remain in continuous rest for several hours. When this process fails, the condition known as nocturia occurs, characterized by the frequent need to urinate during the night. Each awakening interrupts deep sleep, a phase essential for the recovery of the brain, cardiovascular system, and metabolism. The repetition of this pattern over time increases the risk of high blood pressure, chronic fatigue, and accelerated aging. The most common mistake is assuming the cause lies in the prostate, the bladder, or isolated hormonal factors. This leads to treatments focused on the wrong organ. The bladder acts as a warning signal, indicating that there is an imbalance elsewhere in the body. In many cases, this imbalance is related to circulation and the buildup of fluids in the legs throughout the day. Identifying this origin is the key point to solving the problem effectively and long term. During the day, the body remains in a vertical position for several hours. The constant action of gravity causes part of the circulating fluid to shift to lower regions, mainly the legs and ankles. Under ideal conditions, the venous system and muscle contractions in the legs can efficiently return this volume to the center of the body. Over time, or in more sedentary routines, this mechanism loses efficiency. The valves in the veins become less effective and venous return decreases, allowing fluid to accumulate in the tissues. This buildup can occur silently, without obvious swelling, but still enough to disrupt the body's balance. When you lie down, the effect of gravity is neutralized and the fluid retained in the legs quickly returns to circulation. This sudden increase in blood volume reaches the heart, which responds by releasing atrial natriuretic peptide. This hormone acts directly on the kidneys, stimulating the elimination of water and sodium to reduce circulatory overload. As a result, urine production increases during the night. This process occurs in cycles as fluid continues to be redistributed, leading to multiple awakenings. The bladder simply performs its function of storing and signaling the received volume. The origin of the problem lies in fluid redistribution and the body's physiological response to this increase in volume. Understanding the mechanism behind nighttime trips to the bathroom allows you to move to the most important part, the correct intervention. When the problem is related to fluid redistribution, the strategy must act directly on circulation, body positioning, and kidney response. The goal is not to reduce bladder function, but to prevent it from receiving large volumes during sleep. This requires a simple yet precise approach. The first point is to anticipate the movement of fluid accumulated in the legs. Instead of allowing this process to occur during the night, it should be induced while the person is still awake. This change in timing completely alters the outcome. By facilitating venous return before sleep, the body eliminates excess fluid at the right time, preserving sleep. This principle is widely recognized in circulatory physiology and explains why many interventions fail when they focus only on the urinary system. The second point involves muscle activation in the legs. The calf plays an essential role in returning blood to the heart, functioning as a peripheral pump. When this muscle is underused, especially during long periods of sitting, blood flow decreases and fluid accumulation is favored. Regular activation of this region significantly improves circulation and reduces retention. The third point is related to nervous system control. The body alternates between states of activation and relaxation throughout the day, and this balance directly influences urine production. Changes in this system can interfere with the release of the hormone vasopressin, reducing its effectiveness at night. Simple behavioral adjustments before sleep can help restore this balance. The practical application of these principles can be done through a set of coordinated actions. Elevating the legs for a few minutes in the early evening allows fluid to return to circulation in a controlled way. Repetitive foot flexion movements activate the calf muscles and accelerate this process. After this period, urination occurs naturally, reducing the likelihood of accumulation during sleep. In addition, maintaining most fluid intake during the daytime and reducing volume in the final hours of the day helps decrease nighttime kidney load. Another relevant factor is diet, especially sodium intake in the evening. Sodium directly influences fluid retention and can increase the need for nighttime elimination. By reducing sodium-rich foods at dinner, the body tends to maintain a more stable balance throughout the night. When these elements are consistently combined, the impact tends to be significant. The body begins to redistribute and eliminate excess fluid before the rest period, preserving sleep continuity and reducing the burden on the involved systems. When you begin applying these strategies consistently, something important happens. The body stops reacting in a disorganized way and starts operating more efficiently. Nighttime urine production gradually decreases, not because the bladder was forced, but because excess fluid has already been eliminated at the right time. This reduces awakenings and allows sleep to follow its natural cycle without constant interruptions. Over time, the body also improves its sensitivity to internal signals. Communication between the brain, kidneys, and circulatory system becomes more precise, contributing to more stable control of urine production. This adjustment does not happen overnight, but it is progressive and tends to consolidate with the daily repetition of these habits. Another relevant aspect is the quality of sleep that begins to be restored. As awakenings decrease, the body can remain longer in the deep stages of sleep, which are essential for physical and mental recovery. This directly impacts energy levels, concentration, mood, and even the functioning of the immune system. It is important to emphasize that consistency is the determining factor in this process. This is not about a single intervention, but a set of adjustments that, when applied daily, create a cumulative effect. Small actions, repeated over time, are capable of generating significant changes in how the body functions. By understanding the real cause of the problem and applying the correct strategy, you stop treating only the symptoms and begin addressing the root cause. This is what differentiates temporary solutions from lasting results. In addition, it is essential to observe how your body responds over the days. Small improvements, such as waking up one less time during the night or falling back asleep more quickly, already indicate that the process is working. These signs show that the body is adjusting and returning to healthier functioning patterns. It is also important to avoid unrealistic expectations. The goal is not necessarily to completely eliminate nighttime bathroom trips in all cases, but to reduce the frequency to a level that does not compromise sleep quality. For many people, this already represents a significant improvement in quality of life. In situations where symptoms persist even after applying these strategies, it may be necessary to investigate other factors, such as specific medical conditions or medications that influence urine production. In such cases, guidance from a healthcare professional is essential for a more detailed evaluation. Even so, for most people, adjusting circulation, pre-sleep behavior, and fluid distribution throughout the day is already enough to promote clear changes. The body responds when it receives the right stimuli. And in the end, this is what matters most. You are not without options. There is a logical explanation, there is a practical path, and there is a real possibility of restoring calmer and more restorative nights. From this point on, everything depends on practical application in daily life. It is not isolated knowledge that creates change, but the consistent repetition of these adjustments over time. When these actions become part of a routine, the body begins to anticipate patterns and responds more efficiently, gradually reducing symptoms. It is worth remembering that the human body is adaptable. Even after years of facing the same problem, it still has the ability to respond to new stimuli. What is often lacking is not the ability to recover, but the correct strategy applied consistently. Another important point is maintaining a long-term perspective. Sustainable improvements tend to happen gradually, and each small step should be seen as part of the process. Reducing sleep interruptions, improving energy upon waking, and feeling more control throughout the night are clear signs of progress. Over time, these results stop being exceptions and become the new standard. Sleep becomes more continuous, the body more balanced, and the routine less impacted by nighttime awakenings. And it is exactly at this point that you realize the difference between simply living with the problem and truly resolving it. Finally, it's important to reinforce that lasting changes do not come from quick fixes, but from simple adjustments applied consistently. The body responds to what is repeated daily. When you create a favorable environment with better circulation, less fluid buildup, and a more balanced nervous system, results appear naturally. This process does not require perfection, it requires consistency. Even small setbacks along the way do not cancel progress, as long as you return to the routine and maintain the right direction. By integrating these practices into your daily life, you begin to build a new pattern of functioning. The body stops reacting in a disorganized way and starts operating with more predictability and balance. As a result, nights become more restful, sleep becomes deeper, and the impact on the following day becomes smaller. Quality of life improves not only because of sleep, but because of everything it affects. And in the end, it becomes clear that the problem was never just waking up at night, but rather the lack of understanding about what was causing it. Once that understanding emerges, the solution stops being complex and becomes practical, accessible, and effective. And from this understanding, something even more important emerges: autonomy. You stop depending on external solutions and begin to understand how your own body works. This allows you to adjust habits, anticipate problems, and maintain results over time without the need for constant interventions. This type of awareness transforms how you deal with your health. Instead of reacting only when a problem appears, you begin to act preventively, creating conditions for your body to function better every day. Over time, these changes stop being an effort and become a natural part of your routine. What once seemed like a constant problem becomes something controlled, predictable, and increasingly less present. And that is exactly what defines an effective solution, not just solving the symptom temporarily, but creating a new pattern that sustains the result in the long term. When you reach this point, you realize that restoring peaceful nights does not depend on something complex, but rather on understanding the process and applying, every day, what truly works. And as you consolidate this new pattern, you begin to notice benefits that go beyond your nights of sleep. Your energy levels during the day improve, your concentration becomes more stable, and even your mood tends to balance out. This happens because quality sleep influences virtually every system in the body. In addition, the body begins to function with less strain. Systems such as the cardiovascular, renal, and neurological systems stop operating in a constant compensatory state and return to a more efficient level of functioning. This chain effect shows that small changes, when properly directed, can generate broad and lasting impacts. It's not just about avoiding waking up at night, but about improving the body's overall functioning. With this, you not only resolve a specific discomfort, but also consistently improve your quality of life. And when you look back, it becomes clear that the solution was always tied to understanding and correctly applying simple habits. And it is exactly this simplicity that makes the process sustainable. When something is easy to apply, it stops being an obligation and becomes a natural part of your daily life. This significantly increases the chances of consistency and, consequently, long-term results. Many people spend years searching for complex solutions when, in reality, the body responds better to well-executed basic adjustments. This understanding completely changes how the problem is approached. From the moment you identify the cause and apply the correct strategy, the process stops being trial and error and becomes targeted. This saves time, reduces frustration, and increases confidence in the results. And with this clarity, it becomes much easier to maintain the discipline needed for real change to happen. In the end, it all comes down to this: understanding what is happening, taking the right actions, and repeating the process until it becomes automatic. When this process becomes automatic, you no longer need to think about each step. Your body already understands what to do, and your routine begins to sustain the results naturally. This reduces mental effort and makes long-term maintenance much simpler. At this stage, the problem stops being a constant concern. Nighttime interruptions decrease, sleep stabilizes, and you begin to trust your body's functioning more. This confidence is a direct result of consistency. It doesn't appear instantly, but is built through the repetition of correct habits over time. And when you reach this level, you realize that control is once again in your hands. Because in the end, real change happens when knowledge turns into daily action, and that action becomes a new way of life.